Have you ever caught yourself thinking, maybe I could actually sell one of my door hangers? Or maybe you're wondering, is this just a hobby for fun or could it turn into something more? If so, you're in the right place. Inevitably, if you are painting weekly or monthly with me and you start to hang your creations up on your front door, or maybe you make a post about, hey, look at this fun new hobby that I'm doing, or something like that. And then the first thing that they're going to ask you is, did you paint that? And if you say yes, then they're going to say, do you think you could paint me one? And of course, they would like to buy from you because they're your friend or your family member. But sometimes we do have friends and family members who are like, can you make me one for free? We're not talking about that. We're talking about selling your painted door hangers. I have had people literally ask to buy the door hanger right off my door. I've sold door hangers at farmers market. I have taken custom orders for door hangers in the past. And I want to tell you about one of our Painters Clubhouse sisters in particular in just a moment, actually two of them, who have had some success selling door hangers. I want to tell you about Lisa Cato. She's one of our Painters Clubhouse members. She shared recently that she had painted the double-sided Patriotic Lola Bandana Lola door hanger, and she said, I almost didn't sell it because of how it was stapled. She was talking about the staple looking kind of funny or being a little messed up, and it's a perfect example of how we can get hung up on one little flaw in our project. She thought it didn't look good enough to sell, but she posted about it anyway, and guess what? Somebody bought it anyway for $70. $70. And they didn't even care about that tiny little flaw. All they saw was this gorgeous bandana Lola door hanger with Patriotic Lola on the back. It was double-sided, so she's kind of getting two door hangers for the price of one, and she made $70 off of it, you guys. That is such a huge win. And since then, Lisa's been getting ready for local markets. I saw her post where she was packing up her husband's car with all of her door hangers. She had some spring ones, a few fall ones, even art kits. See, you don't even have to sell finished products. You could sell art kits for kids or adults. And she said she was trying to make everything fit, and she's been dreaming about getting a bigger vehicle someday to make it easier. So selling all of these and working towards that, making a little extra money on the side. Maybe it's just a goal of making enough money to make that car payment every month. So whatever it is that you want to work toward, today we're mainly talking about making enough money to offset your membership costs. So if you are currently a Painters Clubhouse member and you're feeling a financial squeeze each month and you're like, but I love this new hobby, I don't want to give up this thing that is special to me, maybe it's time to sell a door hanger. Sell one door hanger a month and it could offset your cost. But I'm just so proud of Lisa. She's figuring it out as she goes. She's making it work with what she has. She's selling door hangers a little here and a little there, and it's been offsetting the cost of her membership and helping her out along the way. Another one of our members, Holly Stillwagon, is a brand new member to the Painters Clubhouse, and she wasn't even trying to sell at first, y'all. She posted a photo of her half finished, pay attention there, half finished, it wasn't even done, bandana Lola door hanger after night number 1 of painting. Because if you remember, for those of you who participated in our workshop, during the workshop, I was talking about you should try selling these. And she posted a picture before it was even completed, and somebody asked if they could buy it. Then that same person asked her if she could make a butterfly design and a few others. Next thing you know, she's also made this floral split round design, the ombre hope butterfly with her daughter's name on it. Holly was like, I didn't even plan on it, but I guess I'm selling door hangers now. And just like that, her membership was paid for in just 1 month. Isn't that fantastic? Now, I know this might not be on the radar of any of you. You might be thinking like, I just joined Painters Clubhouse to learn how to paint. This feels overwhelming. Holly joined just to learn how to paint too, and she didn't really even intend on selling. But I'm preparing you because it can naturally happen. And so if you're open to the idea of having a little side hustle and making a little bit of extra money off of this fun new hobby, I've got some tips for you today. We're fixing to get into those. They're going to be low pressure ways of starting small and just dipping your toe in the water with all of this. These two ladies, Lisa and Holly, they didn't have a plan, and most of us don't. They just shared what they were working on, and people showed up and said, hey, I want one of those. And that's how easy it can be to get started. So I want to know in the comments, what is holding you back from selling your first door hanger? Could it be the pricing? Is it the perfectionism? Is it the fear of putting yourself out there? If it's Pricing, I want to advise you to go back and watch the Facebook Live or YouTube. I went live on both places about pricing your door hangers. I did one just a few weeks ago, so it shouldn't be very far back in the archives. We talked about how to price your door hanger and based on the level of like detail and stuff like that. So that live will help you out there. If perfectionism is what's holding you back, I want you to go watch the live I did last Tuesday talking about the messy middle, because you're getting stuck worrying about one tiny little drop of paint that fell in a spot where you didn't want it to. Maybe you can relate to Lisa, who almost didn't post her door hanger because it had a tiny little flaw where the staple went in, and she's like, oh, nobody's going to want to buy this because it's got this flaw. Y'all, people don't notice stuff like that. So let's get into some things that are low pressure ways that you could sell, because you don't need a full-blown business or website to sell a door hanger. You can just start super small. That's how I started. Instead of posting this door hanger and saying for sale $35, is that a very approachable post? Is that going to get people to comment and ask about it? Maybe. Is it super salesy? Yes. Instead, say, I'm thinking about selling these. Would anybody be interested? Or if that still feels too salesy to you, say, check out this fun new hobby that I just started. It's not perfect, but I'm having so much fun. That's not even selling anything, is it? But it's raising awareness, and it's going to generate comments. People are going to say, oh, that is so cute. I love how you did the flowers, or I love how you painted the stars. And you might get one person that says, oh, you should think about selling these. Or somebody saying, ooh, I would love to have one. Does that sound like somebody who wants to buy? They might be saying, will you sell me one? But they might say, I would love to have one of those. Then you can reply in the comments and say, hey, shoot me a DM if you'd be interested. I'm thinking about selling these. That's when you could reply with that. I'm thinking about selling these, if you don't like to be so forward about your intentions. And then you have the pricing conversation over in the DMs. Don't have the pricing conversation in the comments. Do not do that, because if you have the pricing conversation in the comments, that may turn away potential buyers who are thinking about buying one, but they just need to have a conversation with you first. It also might deadlock you into selling that door hanger for that first price that you threw out. It doesn't give you the flexibility of increasing your price if you suddenly have 10 orders. Some beginner-friendly options for places to sell. Facebook Marketplace. That's the super easy, approachable, free place to advertise what you sell. Buy local sell groups. How many of you guys have these? Everybody has these. My town has like 6 of these, and we're a small town. I'm like, how can one town with a population of less than 30,000 people have like 5 or 6 buy and sell groups? Third place, church or school craft fairs. So look for craft fairs and things in your area, places you can go, and they'll let you set up a table and post a few things for sale. Your setup doesn't have to be super fancy. We've also got vendor malls or pop-ups. So vendor malls would be a more established setup where you would have to pay like a monthly fee to have a booth there. I don't recommend that starting out. I recommend that after you've really started, like maybe you've got door hangers piled up for days. I mean, you could start there. If you have door hangers piled up for days and nowhere to put them, why not hang them up in a booth? But that is going to have a little bit of a startup cost to it, right? Because you're going to have to decorate the booth and make it look a little nicer so that people want to come in and browse, and you're going to have to pay a monthly fee. And it could take a little while before you start to really make your money back. Another option is having paint parties with friends. And you may not look at paint parties as a way to sell door hangers, but it's the easiest way to sell door hangers. Let me say that, because you're not having to paint all of them, and you're just charging a class fee, and they're coming and learning how to paint those with you and taking them home. And so you could sell 25 door hangers in one night just at having a paint party. I stopped doing vendor booths and craft fair setups because I had a hard time finding good craft shows in my area to sell at, and they were always on a Saturday. And my paint party side of my business was more established, and I was able to have a great paint party on a Saturday afternoon, and I was guaranteed to make X amount of dollars because I knew based on how many people were signed up that I could make that money. Whereas a craft fair feels like a gamble. I may pay a booth fee, and who knows, I could make $500 or I could make $50. I don't know. But if I have a paint party, I knew I could make $500 because I've got X number of people showing up. Let's talk about how members are earning a little extra money without starting a full-blown business. So we talked about different ways like places, marketplace, vendor booths, paint parties. But now let's talk about things you could sell or ways you could sell. Finished pieces, like the door hanger hanging behind me, that would be considered a finished piece. You could offer seasonal or themed paint kits. So fall is coming up, right? So you could offer pumpkin-shaped door hangers that people could paint instead of carving a pumpkin this year. How would you like to have a pumpkin painting party in your home? Buy these kits from me. And that would not involve you going to their house and teaching how to paint. That would just involve you providing the wood blanks and the paint colors and all of that. Another option would be hosting a paint party for friends, family, neighbors, church ladies. So you could have everybody into your church fellowship hall and teach them how to paint a bunch of pumpkins this fall. You could also sell to local gift boutiques. We have a couple places like this in our hometown, and they sell door hangers in their boutiques. And I used to sell my door hangers to the boutique, and the boutique would then sell them to the customer. And it doesn't necessarily have to work that way. It could work on commission, where they don't pay you for the door hanger. They pay you if the door hanger sells. That's a different way. And of course, you could also set up at local vendor booths or craft fairs. So just try one of these ideas and see what feels fun to you. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be something that fits for you. You don't have to be perfect or ready or even confident to start. You just have to be willing. So for all of you who are feeling a little hesitant, a little imposter syndrome, like, who am I to be selling door hangers? Who am I to be teaching paint parties? If you have this little desire in yourself, God planted that seed in you, that willingness, that desire. So all you have to do is show up and do, and God will provide the increase. One door hanger, one post, one yes. That's all it takes. You never know what could happen with that first step. If you got something valuable out of today, I would love it if you would drop a comment and let me know what you learned today that you're going to go take and use in the future, and start a little painting hobby that could paint for itself. And once you start establishing yourself and in your community, you could start paying for your Painters Clubhouse membership with one door hanger a month. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Bye.